Two people, same age, same background, same opportunities. But 5 years later, one is living their dream life while the other is drowning in regret, wondering what went wrong. What separated them was not talent. It was not luck. It was not intelligence. It was something the Japanese have understood for centuries. A mental shift so profound that once you grasp it, you will never see failure the same way again. This is about Shosha no Kokoro, the winner's spirit. And by the end of this video, you will understand why some people inevitably win while others are destined to lose, unless they change one thing. If you have ever felt like you are working hard but getting nowhere, this might be the most important message you will ever hear. Chapter 1. The Two Friends. Let me tell you about Marcus and David. They were best friends since college. Both graduated with business degrees. Both had big dreams. Both talked endlessly about starting their own companies and living life on their own terms. Marcus would stay up until 2 a.m., eyes red from staring at his laptop, building his first website. He would wake up at 6 a.m. for his day job, exhausted but excited. His girlfriend complained he never had time for her anymore. His friends stopped inviting him out because he always said no. David had the same dream. He would talk about it constantly at parties. "Man, I am going to start my business soon. I have got this amazing idea." He would buy courses. He would bookmark articles. He would follow all the successful entrepreneurs on social media. But whenever it was time to actually work, he would think, "I am too tired today. I will start tomorrow." Tomorrow became next week. Next week became next month. Next month became next year. 5 years later, Marcus owns a thriving digital marketing agency with 12 employees. He works from a penthouse apartment he owns outright. He travels to Japan, Bali, and Greece, not as a tourist, but as a successful entrepreneur conducting business remotely. David still works the same job. He has been promoted once, but he hates it. He lives in the same apartment. He is still talking about starting his business soon. He sees Marcus's Instagram posts and feels a stab of jealousy mixed with confusion. We are the same, David thinks. Why did he succeed and I am still stuck? The Japanese have a word for what separated Marcus and David. It is called Shosha no Kokoro, the winner's spirit. And the difference between these two mindsets is not just about success in business. It is about everything in life. Chapter 2. The Ancient Philosophy. In feudal Japan, samurai warriors faced a brutal reality. Hesitation meant death. On the battlefield, the warrior who waited for the perfect moment was the warrior who never came home. The concept of Shosha no Kokoro emerged from this harsh truth. It was not about being fearless. Every warrior felt fear. It was about understanding that victory belongs to those who move forward despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, despite the pain. The loser's mindset says, "I will wait until conditions are perfect." The winner's mindset says, "I will create perfect conditions through action." Here is the psychological trap that keeps people like David stuck forever. The human brain is wired to avoid discomfort. It is called loss aversion. Your brain is designed to protect you from potential pain, even at the cost of potential gain. So when David thinks about starting his business, his brain immediately floods him with fears. What if you fail? What if people laugh at you? What if you waste money? What if you are not good enough? These thoughts feel like protection, but they are actually a prison. Marcus felt the same fears. The difference is that he understood something David did not. Fear is information, not a command. Shosha no Kokoro teaches that winners do not wait for fear to disappear. They move with the fear. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act despite fear. Think about this. Every single successful person you admire was once scared. Every entrepreneur, every artist, every athlete, every leader, they all face the same paralyzing fear you are facing right now. The only difference? They moved anyway. Chapter 3. The Decisive Moment. Let me take you back to a specific moment that changed everything for Marcus. It was a Tuesday night. Marcus had been working on his business idea for 3 months. He had built a basic website. He had created sample work. But he had not approached a single potential client yet. He was terrified. That night, he sat at his desk with a list of 20 local businesses he wanted to reach out to. His hand hovered over his laptop. His heart was pounding. His mind screamed, "They will say no. They will think you are a fraud. You do not have enough experience. Wait until you are more ready." This was his decisive moment. He could listen to the fear and close the laptop. He could tell himself, "I will do it tomorrow when I feel more confident." That is what the loser's mindset would have done. Instead, Marcus did something that embodied Shosha no Kokoro perfectly. He said out loud, "I am scared, and I am doing it anyway." He sent all 20 emails. His hands were shaking. He felt like he might throw up, but he pressed send 20 times. 18 businesses never responded. One responded with a polite, "No thank you." One said, "Tell me more." That one response became his first client. That first client became his foundation. That foundation became his empire. Meanwhile, David had the same list. He had researched the businesses. He had drafted perfect emails in his head, but he never sent them, because in his mind, he was not ready yet. He needed to learn more. He needed to prepare more. He needed to feel more confident. Here is the brutal truth David did not understand. You do not build confidence by waiting. You build confidence by doing. The winner's mindset knows that ready is a myth. Nobody ever feels completely ready. Winners move before they are ready. Losers wait forever for a feeling that never comes. Chapter 4. The Compound Effect. Now here is where Shosha no Kokoro reveals its true power. Marcus's first client paid him $500. It was not much, but it proved something crucial. He could do this. Real businesses would pay him real money for his skills. So he did it again, and again, and again. Each small action compounded. Each client led to a referral. Each project taught him something new. Each challenge made him stronger. 6 months later, Marcus had 15 clients and was making more from his side business than his day job. So he quit. His friends thought he was crazy. His parents worried. But Marcus had developed something David never had: momentum. David watched from the sidelines. He would see Marcus post about landing a new client and think, "Good for him. I will start soon too." But soon never came, because David was trapped in what psychologists call analysis paralysis. He was so busy planning the perfect strategy, watching the perfect tutorials, and waiting for the perfect moment that he never actually started. The loser's mindset believes that success comes from having the perfect plan. The winner's mindset knows that success comes from having an imperfect plan and the courage to execute it. Think about Marcus's first website. It was terrible by today's standards. His first pitch emails were awkward. His first client projects were not perfect, but he did them anyway. Each imperfect action taught him something. Each failure made him better. Each small win built his confidence. This is the compound effect of Shosha no Kokoro. Winners understand that imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. David, on the other hand, was stuck in the planning phase forever. He had notebooks full of ideas. He had folders full of saved articles. He had a mind full of dreams, but he had zero results. Because thinking about success and actually pursuing success are two completely different things. Chapter 5. The Identity Shift. Here is where the philosophy gets deep. After 2 years of building his business, something changed in Marcus. It was not just that he had more money or more clients. It was something internal. He stopped seeing himself as someone trying to be successful. He became someone who simply was successful. This is what Shosha no Kokoro is really about: identity transformation. The loser's mindset is trapped in trying. I am trying to lose weight. I am trying to build a business. I am trying to be better. The winner's mindset shifts to being. I am an entrepreneur. I am healthy. I am disciplined. This seems like a small linguistic difference, but it is actually massive. When you try, you leave yourself an escape route. You can always say, well, I tried. When you embody the identity, there is no escape route. You either do the thing or you are betraying who you are. Marcus stopped saying, I am trying to build a business. He started saying, I am an entrepreneur. And that shift changed everything. When opportunities arose, he did not think, should I pursue this? He thought, of course I am pursuing this. That is who I am. When challenges appeared, he did not think, maybe I should quit. He thought, entrepreneurs solve problems. That is what I do. David never made this shift. 5 years later, he still introduced himself by his job title at the company he hated. He would mention his business idea at parties, but always in the future tense. I am going to, not I am. The psychology behind this is profound. Your brain tries to keep your actions aligned with your identity. If you see yourself as someone who tries things but never finishes, your brain will sabotage your efforts to maintain that identity. But if you see yourself as someone who finishes what they start, who takes action despite fear, who creates opportunities rather than waits for them, your brain will work overtime to make your actions match that identity. This is the heart of Shosha no Kokoro. It is not just about taking action. It is about becoming the kind of person for whom action is natural. Chapter 6. The Cost of Waiting. Let me tell you what happened to David. 5 years after graduation, he was sitting in the same coffee shop where he and Marcus used to talk about their dreams. Marcus was in town for a business conference and suggested they meet up. David ordered the same drink he always ordered. Marcus looked different, not just successful, but alive in a way David could not quite articulate. They caught up. Marcus talked about his business, his travels, his growth. He was humble about it, but David could see the quiet confidence in his eyes. Then Marcus asked the question David had been dreading. So, did you ever start that business you were talking about? David felt something break inside him. He gave the same excuse he had been giving himself for 5 years. I have been really busy with work, and I want to make sure I do it right, you know? I am still planning it out. Marcus nodded, but David could see it in his eyes. Marcus knew. He knew David would never start. He knew David had let fear win. That night, David could not sleep. For the first time, he allowed himself to feel the full weight of his choices. 5 years. 5 years of tomorrow. 5 years of I am not ready yet. 5 years of watching others live his dreams. He calculated what he had lost. If he had started when Marcus did, even if he had been half as successful, he would be in a completely different place. Not just financially, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. He had traded 5 years of growth for 5 years of comfort, 5 years of possibility for 5 years of safety. And here is the cruelest part. He still was not any more ready than he was 5 years ago. The fear had not disappeared. The uncertainty had not vanished. The risk had not decreased. He had waited for nothing. This is what the loser's mindset costs you. Not just success, but time. And time is the one resource you can never get back. Chapter 7. The Transformation. But this story does not end there. Something happened to David that night. He realized he had been living the same year 5 times in a row. Same complaints, same excuses, same dreams deferred. He made a decision, not a wish, not a plan, a decision. The next morning, he did not feel motivated. He did not feel confident. He did not feel ready. But he remembered what Marcus had told him years ago. You do not need to feel ready. You just need to start. David embodied Shosha no Kokoro for the first time in his life. He did not create a perfect business plan. He did not wait for the perfect moment. He did not research for 6 more months. He just started. He sent 5 cold emails to potential clients. His hand shook just like Marcus's had 5 years earlier. But he sent them. 3 did not respond. 1 said no. 1 said maybe. That maybe became his first client 3 weeks later. It paid him $300. It was not much, but it was proof. Proof that he could do this. Proof that the only thing standing between him and his dreams had been his own fear. 6 months later, David had quit his job. A year later, he had his first profitable month. 2 years later, he was running a successful consulting business. Was it harder starting 5 years later than Marcus? Yes. Did he have to work twice as hard to catch up? Absolutely. But here is what David learned. The best time to start was 5 years ago. The second best time is right now. The winner's mindset does not dwell on lost time. It focuses on the time that remains. Chapter 8. The Universal Truth. So what does all of this mean for you? Right now, you are at your own crossroads. Maybe you are like the early Marcus, scared but ready to move. Or maybe you are like David was, trapped in analysis paralysis, waiting for a confidence that will never arrive on its own. Here's what I need you to understand. Shosha. No Kokoro is not about business. It is not about entrepreneurship. It is about life. It is about the relationship you are too scared to pursue. The creative project you have been putting off. The conversation you need to have. The change you need to make. It is about every single decision where you are choosing between the comfort of staying the same and the courage to grow. The loser's mindset will always give you reasons to wait. I need more time. I need more money. I need more knowledge. I need more confidence. I need better circumstances. The winner's mindset knows the truth. You need more action. Because here is what nobody tells you about confidence. It does not create action. Action creates confidence. You do not wait until you feel brave to do brave things. You do brave things and then you feel brave. Every person you admire, every success story you have heard, every achievement that inspired you, it all started with someone who was scared, uncertain, and unprepared, but moved anyway. Marcus was not special. David was not doomed. The difference was simple. One embodied Shosha no Kokoro and one did not. The question is not whether you have what it takes. You do. The question is whether you will move before you are ready or wait forever for a feeling that never comes. Let me leave you with this. In Japanese warrior culture, there is a concept called the decisive moment. The split second when hesitation means death and action means life. You are in that moment right now. Not physically, but psychologically. Every day you wait to pursue your dreams. Every day you choose comfort over courage. Every day you let fear make your decisions. You are dying a small death. Not dramatically, not obviously, but quietly, internally, your potential is withering. The tragedy is not that you might fail. The tragedy is that you might never try. 5 years from now, you will be somewhere. The only question is, will you be Marcus, or will you be the old David? Will you be the person who moved despite fear, who built despite uncertainty, who won despite the odds? Or will you be the person who is still talking about what you are going to do someday? Shoshin no Kokoro, the winner's spirit, is not something you are born with. It is something you choose. Every single day, with every single decision, you are either choosing the winner's path or the loser's path. And here is the beautiful truth. You can choose differently starting right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready, right now. Take one small action today that your future self will thank you for. Send one email, make one phone call, start one project, take one step, just one. Because that is how every empire is built, one brick at a time, by people who refuse to wait for permission, for perfection, or for the fear to disappear. If this message resonated with you, if you felt something shift inside you, do not let this moment pass. Subscribe to Zen Mindset. We are building a community of people who choose growth over comfort, action over analysis, and courage over fear. Your future is calling, and it is asking you a simple question. Are you a winner who has not won yet, or a loser who is afraid to try? The answer is not in your thoughts. It is in your actions. Choose wisely, and remember, the warrior who waits for the perfect moment never becomes a warrior at all.